Let's get to the matter at hand. Live Nation. The reason why I say this is a wonderful company, I personally love Live Nation. I've actually worked for them via a third party, and it was one of the best experiences of my life. And I don't want to get too nostalgic, but this was back in 2010, all the way back to 26, so 2006 to 2010. I worked for Live Nation. I was doing backstage catering, and um, I'm going to humble brag. I got to meet a lot of interesting people, and more. I got to meet a few stars, and it was really just a good all around experience. And I really attribute that to why I don't really get starstruck, and I also attribute that to why I'm not really impressed by, you know, physical wealth and money, because I was around that for almost 5 years. So um, and it was a really good experience. I got to travel around the Northeast and do a whole lot of tours. I worked for Madonna. I worked for the Eagles. I worked for Lil Wayne, Nicki Minaj, and anybody who was touring back in 2006 to 2008. I worked for the Grateful Dead and Jimmy Buffett, great dude. Shout out to Jimmy Buffett. He always hooked us up with Landshark before everybody knew what Landshark was. So shout out to Jimmy Buffett. Shout out to Live Nation. Shout out to everybody that works at in Camden, New Jersey. Everybody who works at Atlantic City. Everybody in Scranton. Shout out to everybody in Wilkes-Barre, Scranton, and Hershey, PA. I think those are all the venues I worked at. I might miss one or two. Oh yeah, shout out to everybody at the Electric Factory in Philadelphia. Good people, good dudes. I did lots of shows, and I just really wanted to really just give a shout out. But get back to Live Nation. It's a really great company, and they make a whole lot of money. They do a lot of things in the background that people don't see. And speaking from experience, although it was years ago, they are just pretty much the ultimate concert entity, and they cover such a wide range. And back when I was doing it, we only had, I guess, one other company that like Live Nation, that was within our region and that operated the same venues as Live Nation. And a lot of people don't understand that. I think this was before Ticketmaster and the Rock Nation. But a lot of people don't really understand that how much production goes into creating a show, and how much manpower and how much revenue comes in, how many people comes in, and it's really chaotic. It's really stressful, especially when you are backstage and you're talking to security, and security tell you all the things they deal with crowd control, and it's a lot of moving pieces. So and that's why I have immense respect for Live Nation, and not just nostalgia. And they really held down their territory, which was Pennsylvania and New Jersey. They really held down that territory that I worked, and you really got to see the difference because I worked for a third party. I was, uh, you know, contracted out to work for the other event company every once in a while, and I really can't say nothing bad about this other entity. I'm looking at their competitors. I believe it was Eventbrite, but it may have been Informal PLC. I haven't researched their competitors. I think it was Eventbrite though, that I did a little moonlighting for back in my catering days. But there's nothing like a Live Nation event, and we've worked. We back in the day, we worked Campbell Soup because they're located in New Jersey. We did a couple of their corporate events. We actually did a couple of Obama events when he was running for president. We did the Obama Grateful Dead tour, and that was fun. But I say all of that just to say that they do more than just catering. They host pretty much any live event that was in the city, and they were the go-to people for the Philadelphia region as far as I'm concerned, because of my bias and actually my experience. They were the go-to people, and they operated all of the venues, and it's just no competition for them. So now we're in this COVID situation, and Live Nation is diversifying and trying to make money in different ways, but um, it's nothing like a live show, and I can't wait until they actually open back up. If you look at their stock history over the last 5 days, they're up 38%, 0.38%. Over a month, they're up 3%, 3.49. In the 3 month period, they're up. I'm sorry, they are down negative 1.68, and year to date, they're up 17%. So we got a lot of reopening encouragement, and people seem to be happy that this reopening may happen. So I'm looking at these numbers, and it looks like within 3 months to 5 days, you got a little bit of insecurity going on with people, but within the year to date, and the 1 year, there's lots of confidence in the stock that they can actually make some money, and I believe they're actually doing some concerts thanks to the vaccine, but it's nothing like what it used to be, and we're all just waiting for things to return back to normal, or for us to really establish our new normal. So I'm really hype about Live Nation, and I'm happy that I'm actually getting a share of Live Nation stock. It's something that I've been looking at for a long time, and just never really hopped into. I really don't even have a reason not to already have a position in them. But I thank Stash for bringing it to my attention and giving me a small slice. And I'm going to capitalize on that by going and buying a whole share eventually, even if I have to dollar cost average this stock.